Man, them, I'd like to welcome the wonderful, the amazing. Yeah, I'm just gonna set it up. I want you to carry it.
Keep going.
Okay. So the man, them, yeah, are just reboys, just copycats, yes, right. But every now and then, some man of uniqueness steps through. Tell them what you do. Run your CV.
I rap.
Okay.
Talk to him.
I rap. Badly.
Nah, no.
On Grime instrumentals. Joking. I actually am the best rock Grime MC ever.
Ever. Boom, boom, boom.
There we go.
Exactly.
I'm a producer as well. I've got a radio show on Ballamy called My Callaloo's Burnt, where I play. It's like a new Lovers Rock show. It's Lovers Rock, but it's also not Lovers Rock as well.
Elite.
Where can they find that?
It's on Ballamy. I do every fourth Thursday of the month.
Okay.
I'm just a music. Aside from being the best grime artist ever,
That's a heavy title, but you're holding it well.
Nah, it's true. There's other people out there who are great, but I'm the best.
Take the crown.
And aside from that, I'm just a music aficionado.
Okay.
I'm someone that has a lot to say.
That's a wonderful combination.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not gonna give you the crown. You have to take it for yourself.
Yeah. Or just you don't even need a crown. I was saying, even trying to call myself the king of grime for a bit. I'm like, I don't even think I'm a king. I'm just a person that's better than everyone.
I'm just a best.
It's not really. I don't think it's a monarchy in grime anymore. I don't think there's a monarchy. I don't think the monarchy ever really existed.
Boy, in grime.
Yeah, I think obviously that's not to say that there's people that aren't better or worse, but even the phrasing, just like I don't know, like I'm just better than everyone.
Okay.
But the great thing with kings, you don't have to just have one.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, you believe in multiple kings.
Yeah, there's been multiple kings
Nigga,
since
have
forever.
you seen Lord of the Rings?
Have you seen Europe?
Yeah, exactly, nigga. That's why we have the European Union.
I was actually just waffling for that last 2 minutes. Anyway,
We don't care. That's what we do.
I just rap.
Let's come.
M.I.C,
with us.
the one and only, North London's finest.
Yes.
Gang. I'm Zaya Way. This is Urban Era. To the left of me.
I'm DJ. I'm back again. You saw me back last week as well. We're back here, man. Only illustrious guests, man. The fuck?
Okay, energy. Behind the screens, BTS. We have the fadiest fade. Ish the ish. Mr. Swag Daddy Glody. Mr. You don't know what he's gonna do to his hair next week. Chrissy Chris. M Skang. That's how they say M Skang with the Skang. Come on. No. M.I.C, yeah?
Gone.
How was growing up in London for you?
I was reflecting on this a few weeks ago. Me and my friends had a really fun time doing fun things. Like obviously there's difficulties in life that I think probably that I experienced that probably a lot of black people experience in this country. But me and my friends had a lot of fun between the difficult things. I was also raised in a cult as well.
A cult? What type of cult?
In the religious cult. My family are Jehovah's Witnesses.
Okay.
So that was an experience that I would not recommend. But aside from that nonsense, like me and my friends had a lot of fun. A lot of playing games, a lot of cycling, a lot of wrestling, a lot of we did a lot of cool things. We had a lot of happiness.
Okay. Do you wanna dribble for
I was going to ask, where are you from originally?
My heritage.
Yeah.
My mum is Jamaican.
Okay.
And my dad is Nigerian. He's half Igbo, half Efik.
Oh, okay.
So I'm Biafran.
The diaspora.
Yeah, man. I love being both.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of love for both. I've really been stepping into understanding my identity a lot in the last few years. Just because, I low-key felt like, I don't know, it's taken me a while to feel really, really, really comfortable.
In yourself?
Not just in myself, but in my quest for connecting with my culture.
Okay.
That's even why I started my radio show, is because I wanted to make a new age Lovers Rock show. Where it's because a lot of young people, people our age and a bit younger, even a little bit older, don't really know about Lovers Rock and how significant it is in terms of Black British music.
Yeah.
And just things like that. The food I choose to eat, the way I choose to spend my time. I have become, as I get older, I've become more and more cognizant of the fact that I am you know, what I am.
MSC, question. Do you remember when you started that journey?
No, who knows?
Okay,
Who
so
knows? I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I think I've always been on that journey.
always.
Always, yeah. Because even thinking back to when I was younger.
You don't start that journey.
You don't think? So?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think you really start. It just happens.
Okay.
Because I remember being super young. I must have been in year 9, and I started to become aware of certain things. But I don't even think that's even when the journey began. I remember reading books about the Middle Passage and about
What's the Middle Passage?
the transatlantic slave trade.
Okay.
And I remember I had a book that my dad actually gave to me about the upper class black people, the black upper class in America.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't even I can give you these events, but I don't really know when I started the journey.
Okay.
You know, and to be honest, the journey will never end.
True.
I don't think anyone really starts the journey. I don't think anyone even ever ends the. In fact, that's not true because there's Coons. But anyway,
Do you know?
I think that no one really.
I forgot about them.
Yeah, no, yeah, you know,
The coconut niggas.
yeah, I forget sometimes. Like, wow, they exist.
MSC.
Yeah,
Let me catch the dribble for a bit then.
Yeah.
So, I remember growing up in the environment I grew up in.
Yeah.
Like, they tried very hard to like stamp identity onto me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I started a process in which I realized that like I can shape my identity.
yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yes,
So
yeah.
I meant in that regard. Do you remember an event that started that in which you're like actually I can be who I want to be and do what I want to do? Because
There were lots of events like that for me because one of those events was when there's been so many of these events.
Okay.
There was there was one event where there's been so many. There's been so. I think probably the most significant one is when I stopped being a Jehovah's Witness.
okay.
To be honest, that's when I really started to understand myself and understand what the world was like. But there's been other significant events, probably ones that are even like more traumatic than that one. Ones that are like really inspiring. Ones that were there's all kinds of ones. I couldn't really pinpoint one event. There's been too many, and I think it probably will keep being those events.
Yeah.
To be honest,
That's what's amazing about like black people, especially black kids that grow up in the West.
yeah,
It's like there's not an event, but it's like these events could have been happening throughout your whole life. But it's, you come to a certain age where it starts to click together. Like maybe this is just because of this. Maybe it's because of who I am.
Yeah.
As well. So it's like experiencing racism. Going back to going back to your country of origin is a big help of like that journey as well. So because you can see your people in the flesh.
I still haven't been.
I still haven't been as well.
I still haven't been, unfortunately. I want to go.
I
It's never been for a lack of money.
Yeah.
It's never been for a lack of desire. It's just been for a lack of money,
Oh, fair
a
enough.
lack of time, a lack of access as well. It's all well and good being like, oh, I want to go back home.
Yeah.
It's like if
Don't
I
have-
haven't really got family that I'm super connected with in my countries of origin, you know.
Yeah, that's the same. Like I agree with you because that's something that I had to like sit down with myself and just be. I was super grateful for my parents, especially my mum. Like
What's your heritage?
my mum's side's Grenadian and
Yeah.
Trinidadian, and my dad's side's St. Lucian.
Okay.
So, like, I went to St. Lucia super early when my parents were still together. That's how early it was.
Yeah.
And then my mum was just like, no, when I turned like, 12, 13, she made sure, no, you're going back.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have, like, my mum wasn't rich, or anything like that, but she always made sure she had money to, like, send me and my sister back.
The priorities were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a priority.
But I've got a question for you.
Go on.
I'm going back.
Yeah, no, go
But
for it.
you know when you stopped being a Jehovah's Witness?
Yeah.
Number one, are your family still Jehovah's Witness?
Yes, they are.
And how did you go about telling them like you don't want to be a Jehovah's Witness anymore? If you don't mind me asking.
No. I would love to answer. I don't know. So I stopped being one because this is nonsense. It's actually stupid. And then
No Christmas, no birthdays, isn't it?
that's just ridiculous. Even just like I've been listening to this rapper a lot lately called RX Nephew from New York. And there's one lyric I think because I've been listening to his music and he low key I think that he was raised as Jehovah's Witness as well. Because he'll be saying stuff like, oh, they passed me the mic at the Kingdom Hall. And I'm like, how do you know about getting Kingdom Hall? So he was like, he must be a witness, or he must have grown up a witness.
Yeah.
And then there's one lyric of his when he's like, oh, Jehovah's Witness is fighting over Jesus' birthday. I'm like, it sounds like ridiculous, but it's like, I just realized it was just nonsense. Like there was just so many things that they are fixated on that just aren't relevant to my life, aren't relevant to my experiences. So I think I told mum. I think mum. I didn't actually tell anyone in my family. I just started doing it, and then, obviously there was like a little bit of kickback, I guess, but nothing crazy.
Not like
But-
if you're trying to leave Scientology or something.
Yeah, but it was like, I don't know. I feel like my mum is really kind as well, to be honest. Like even though she's still in that faith, she's also like, she's been quite compassionate of me for the most part. But also like, I don't know. I didn't announce or anything. I just did.
I'm out.
And actually, to be honest, I've probably in the last few years, I've probably had conversations with them, with my family, and just been like, do you know what you're even believing? Do you know what? I've questioned them more, but it wasn't. That's post me leaving. But yeah, I just want everyone to leave. To be honest.
Did you have anxiety before you made that move? About the consequences of leaving?
Yeah, of course. That's what kept me in for so long.
Yes.
And that's the problem. That's my issue with it as well. That's my issue with a lot of religions, because you should feel in life that you have the autonomy to be theistic, atheistic, agnostic, whatever. And I think that a lot of religious organizations do not afford the people in their organization with that respect, with that freedom. And I feel like I was so scared about being ostracized. I was so scared about losing my family, so I stayed in it for so long. And then I just came to the decision one day that fear can't be what dominates what I do. And I feel like I wish that freedom on everyone, because it's not. I think it's wrong to be feeling so bound, like your hands are bound, your feet are bound, because of this thing above you.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously, there's always going to be a degree of like you feeling an obligation for certain things. But I think that it's definitely worsened by like the way that faith's set up. Low-key, it's abusive. Because how is it that if you sin in terms of that religion, you can get your whole family have to stop speaking to you.
But it's certain sins, though.
Say that again.
It's certain sins. Because the Bible doesn't have a hierarchy of sins.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things in that faith that will get you that potentially could land you in this position where you're being ostracized by your family. Lots of things.
So boom,
Yeah.
yeah, controversial, yeah.
Go on.
So, let's say man them back home, wherever home is.
Yeah.
There's an issue with adultery.
Yeah.
Pops and moms are heavy Christians, but
Yeah.
pops can't keep his dick in his pants.
Yeah.
Now, man's not being ostracized for that. But if your son comes home and says that he's into boys, kick him out. That's the devil shit. If you know what I mean. They pick and choose which sins.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
they're gonna die
Absolutely. And to be honest, like, it even troubles me that I don't know. How do I say this?
Say what's on your mind.
I just think, that people, I just want to understand, why is it this thing has so much leverage over everyone? Like, why does this thing just get to decide? How did this, obviously I know roughly how it's happened, but why has it happened? Why is it that this thing, even when you're questioning the Bible, people will look at you like you're crazy. It's like, why does this thing get to tell me what to do? It's a book.
Peer pressure
It's
from
a person.
from dead people.
It's not even if a person was telling me to do these things, I'll be like, this person's wild. But it's a book, and it's like it's a belief system, and it's like this is just too. I just think it's crazy. Like it's crazy that this thing, like when you step back from being involved in Christianity, and you look and you're like, actually, like this has so much power over everyone in their lives, even people that aren't even religious. Because even when like I know like some certain niggas that aren't Christian. But they will be affronted by seeing stuff that they consider to be satanic or demonic. But it's like, how do we
believe in Satan?
how do we even no? But like, not even there's that. But like, why? It's more like why is everyone's morality system so so beaten in like and so morphed Why has it been morphed by this book, by this belief system? That's what, I don't know, man. I just think everyone just needs to question. Because I'm not even telling people to not necessarily even be Christian. I'm just thinking everyone should be looking at the Bible fairly and not in this like, they shouldn't be looking at it in this biased way where they just give it the benefit of the doubt.
To be fair, dribble.
Without getting like into too much conspiracy theories, but like, this is this part of the world is built on that book. Every society in this part of the world is built on the morality, how we interact with each other, how we come up with our laws is based off this book.
Yes.
It's only until now recently where it's like
Been interrogated more.
Scrutinized more. There's certain like it's being taken out of politics more and lawmaking more.
Yeah.
That
in
now,
this country, but in the States, say.
in this continent.
Yeah.
And in some places in the States,
to be
some
fair,
places
Europe and the UK are a lot more secular than America.
To be fair, I won't let you do my brothers across the pond like that.
What lives in the States?
Yeah, because a lot of the states separate
church and state.
church and state.
They try to,
There's like, don't get me wrong, there's like a lot of like ultras in the states, but
Christian fundamentalism does still have. It has so much power in American society as a whole.
We're sitting here. We're gonna sit here.
It actually has a crazy amount of power, and even to this modern day, even for like, and not even for even necessarily for even just black people, for white people. It does. It's a thing where even with just like if you look at like the Lil Nas X kickback.
Well, with the video or this shoes.
The shoes, the video, like the way that he's been, the way that like the what's the word I'm looking for, like the vitriol from like the public was like so big.
Why do you think that was? Do you think it was
Because it's everyone's identity and ethic system is too based in the Bible, basically. That's why I think it's that's why that people were so offended.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's also gay, so that's like that's probably inflaming their outrage even more.
He's a gay rapper.
This gay nigger is on my screen talking about and it's like
twerking.
It's too much. It's too much. It's too much for them. It's too much for them, and it's like and obviously like I know what you're saying. Like
the thing is, his entry point was Old Town Road, which became popular amongst kids as well.
Yeah.
I hate that argument when the internet chose that argument, though.
So I feel like their parents are scared that it's like, oh, my kid listens to him. If you watch the video, he's gonna turn. And it's like that's not how this works, really.
No, that's not how it works.
That's how this works. Your kid has probably seen worse and probably said worse
from straight people to
on Live Leak or 4Channel, one of them bloody.
That is not okay.
Them message boards. Yeah. You're raising a little neo-Nazi and you're worried about little Nas X.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. There was a point I was gonna make in terms of.
Sorry, did I cut you off? My bad.
No, it's all good. It's because that was super valid as well. But there was something I was gonna say about.
Oh, if you can't remember.
Oh, I remember. I remember.
No, it's cool.
Because obviously we live in these societies, but people need to remember we're black.
Yeah, we black.
We're black, and it's like I'm not even gonna be ignorant and pretend like Christianity didn't exist in Africa prior to colonialism, because it did. But like we're actually black people. We're like we have suffered because not like an implicit like maybe we've actually suffered because of Christianity.
Explicit, yeah.
We continue in a lot of respects to suffer because of Christianity. If you look at the Caribbean, even with the laws that affect gay men, that are having sex in like Jamaica, like these things, like why do you think that there's such a the societies are so
strong on it?
Why do you think they care so much? Why do you think they're so opposed to it?
I have an answer for that.
What do you think? You can talk about the butt breaking.
Nah, I don't know what that is.
Because people, that was me even being over it. Look, you keep
screaming.
Because people are always like, it's butt breaking. That's not. I see you, mate. It's not even a joke, but like.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's what I'm saying.
I was gonna say technically, if you take the diaspora, people leave their home and then they're in like war. If you know what I mean, this is not a territory. the oppressors all around us. Every day they're putting weight on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Man, them stick together and they find common stuff to stick around.
Yeah.
Religion tends to be that common stuff that binds people together.
But so many black people that were taken from Africa had their own religion,
Had their own spirituality.
and they had their own spirituality, and it was taken from them, and it was demonized so much, and it's like, even now,
Heritism.
yeah,
Heretics.
there's a word that I heard recently that like describes it. It's like epistemicide.
Yeah.
It's like the killing of a knowledge system. So it's like that's what's happening.
They did that in Eritrea or something, like the largest library. They broke it down.
down.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm thinking of Star Trek as well. That's what this
It's mad though.
what swarm people do.
Yeah.
He's screaming.
So
He's one of them, man.
there's a lot of
What was that word again?
there's a lot of like.
Yeah, what was that
those-
word, sorry?
Epistemicide.
Epistemicide.
Yeah, it means
Thank you very
the
much.
destruction or killing of a knowledge system, and that's a lot of what's happened in terms of
Every day.
African people's spirituality and religion being taken from them and being exterminated, being demonized, and obviously like it's more than it just being like a what's the word I'm looking for? It's more than it just being like a thing where they've taken this thing and now we don't have this thing anymore. It's bigger than that. It's a thing where like that was how information was. That was like a tether we had
Yeah.
to our culture.
Yeah.
Like Caribbean people, African
it's
people,
evident.
like it's a thing. African American people, they lost something. They had something. Something was taken and destroyed, and
You
it's
have to
like
replace it with something.
Yeah, and then they pick religion to replace it with it.
but no, it was one religion. It was like one thing.
This
that was just
version
like,
of
this version of religion.
No, I hear that. But like, for example, if we're gonna stick to the racism, and let's say historically, like you put it, because I want to move it to your music in a bit. You bring the people, you have to break the people, and you break the people by stripping them of any ties they had to the past.
And identity.
Yeah, and the identity, you strip it away from them. And then you cram a new identity into them. Yeah, and the new identity, during the process of that happening, black people, there's a black Christianity that exists that we connect ourselves to. Yeah, whether or not that's good and bad, I grew up in areas where I've seen religion be the only thing that's keeping someone mentally sane, aside them being insane. If you know what I mean?
The reason why I don't buy that,
Yeah.
not that I'm not. When I say don't buy that, I'm not doubting your memory or your experiences of what you've seen. It's more that I don't doubt the notion. Sorry, it's more me doubting the notion that religion is keeping people in check because of, I don't know. It's like if you were to say if like I don't know BP company BP were to like in their like quest for oil, they flooded like a whole portion of the Pacific Ocean by being negligent oil spill, and all the biodiversity in the area dies. All these turtles die, dolphins die, whales die, whatever. And then thing were like BP were like, you know what, we're gonna as a company we're gonna invest like I don't know like 200,000 into like an aquarium in like I don't know in New York or somewhere, and it's like I guess in some sense of the word like it's a good thing that this thing exists maybe because but it doesn't undo the damage. It doesn't undo the extensive damage that's been done already because of this thing. It's like there was one interview with Zach Fox, if you've heard of that guy before. And he was talking about how he feels like Christianity is like a double-edged sword. But he says that one of the edges is really sharp and one of them is crooked and jagged.
I think that's most religions.
And it's like, but it's specifically with black people and Christianity, it's a thing where like it's robbed so much from us that like these little like minute like trade-offs are just not really enough.
Okay, but you see what you're saying there, yeah? If you strip it and you argue that Christianity religion is just one element of, let's say, like a capitalist system. So
which it is.
Which it is. So we're being fucked every direction. In the system. Why can't some people smoke, some people go to church? If you know what I mean. Because the world's a world and people need something to push you through.
That's true. But you can say that, but then like the church is actually exploiting a lot of these people.
Nowadays,
churches are actually exploiting a lot of people's poverty. To be
You
honest,
did
they're going to
exploit you
poor
as
people,
well.
and they're going to poor people, and they're asking for this. You know, even what's Spec Nation asking for? That the seed, the seed, so that Pastor Toby can buy Louis Vuitton vest,
Lambo truck.
Fendi. But then
Lambo
these people are
truck.
poor. These people are like, you know, like this is not just that thing with Pastor Toby is just that's just like a microcosm of this whole thing.
Bigger problem,
It happens so much. It happens so much with black people giving money they don't have. Not just black people, people in the church giving money they don't
What's
have.
that Donny in Texas that when there was a hurricane it was flooded? Yeah, he was like, the whole what's it called?
Prep
They had
for
like a
dollar.
building. This the building's flooded. They put cameras inside the building. The building's fine. They set up table and shit. There was like crackers on the side. That's how clean the place was. And he was like, oh no, we were setting up for a thing. And he's one of those like super
Mega
So the
churches.
mega church
yeah, mega
pastors,
churches.
yeah.
But it's like humans exploit shit. That's just human nature for us to exploit.
I don't
in
think
any
so.
way. I think it is.
I think low key. I think I've been talking about this a lot lately.
Whether
With
you exploit it for good or bad is up to you. But
no, but
humans
it's specifically exploit bad like this
bad-
this like
for
notion
negative
that
terms,
humans are like corrupt. I think low key it's not true. I just think that might be how people act when things are so desperate. But like there's actually a lot of
That's true. Yeah.
there's a lot of evidence that suggests that humans aren't corrupt. Humans aren't malicious or
Not
they just-
innately corrupt. No.
Not yeah. I don't think there's corruption, but I don't think humans are innately like prone to being. I think prone to being like deceitful and exploitative. I just think that's like a capitalist lie because it helps to justify
You said
the
lie,
fuckery that we live
Wait.
that we live
You said
under.
lie though.
Lie.
But let's say you're an
Yeah.
artist.
Yeah.
If you go to a record deal
Yeah.
and they put a contract in your face,
Yeah.
you're reading the contract because you're gonna assume they're gonna try and fuck you.
Yeah. But that's okay. So there's practice.
Yeah.
And there's on paper and in practice.
Yeah.
So on paper, humans aren't inherently corrupt. We're not inherently corrupt creatures. But
Society
in practice, a lot of the time people have to put out of desperation, out of like unresolved traumas, whatever.
Or greed.
People act, avarice, all these. It makes sense that people would, do things that are like a bit like deplorable, a bit shady. It happens. No one is perfect. That's for me to say that people aren't necessarily corrupt. Isn't to say that we're perfect creatures, but
I think when people say that humans are corrupt, I don't think it's like we're born corrupt. I feel like the world that we've created so far has kind of forced us, whatever economic class you're in, whatever race you are,
It enables that side.
You have to game the system a bit to get ahead. Especially if you're poor, fuck. And then people look at people that are like selling drugs or even doing drugs, and then you look at their life outside of that, and you're like, I don't blame you. What the fuck? Your life is so fucked up, yeah. And there's little handouts. Yeah, here's your free 42 a month universal credit until you find something. It's like, that's not really gonna do me much, especially in a pandemic job market where everyone's looking for jobs, so it's super competitive. It's like, that's not really gonna do nothing for me.
I feel like the resources and comparison causes that though. Like the lack of resources and the forced nature of comparing
Causes
yourself to
people-
your neighbors and stuff.
Especially resources.
You see a lot of these I'm going back a bit.
No,
sorry.
no, keep going
But you
back.
see a lot
Rewind.
of these pastors and stuff like that. I feel like the reason why they act the way they act is based on their own situations and what they've been through, and they're accustomed to it. So even when they do come up, they are still accustomed to thinking, I struggled, so they're still in survival mode. Do you get what I mean? So they do things like taking from the poor because they were so used to taking from people before they got to where they got to. And I feel like it's not fair that energy should be pushed onto Christianity on a whole, if you get what I mean. I wouldn't necessarily say it's the Bible or Christianity. I would just say it's people and what their life experiences have, what they've gone through in their personal life, and they've now
And now they've become.
I don't know if that's true though, because
not used the Bible to exploit, but they've tried to turn a leaf, try to be a good person, but they're in this world. The world is corrupt. It's hard.
the reason why I don't really think I really never it just isn't in me to give Christianity the benefit of the doubt because of the amount of times that it's been used to even
Justify it.
justify, or like it's been used to like
But
don't
it's
know.
not, Christianity is not using it, it's people that are
No,
using
but even the text
It's
of
people.
but the text of the Bible, there's so many things that people just ignore with the Bible, or like.
Yeah,
not even-
as you said, I think
There's
it's
so many-
their
Win,
choices.
win, win, win.
They're choosing
no,
to
but
ignore that.
no, but let's think. No, but like, what I mean is even just like when you talk about like people talk about homophobia with the Bible, yeah.
Okay.
People talk about. I've heard people in the last few years. This is kind of related to what you just said, but I'm trying to keep the loop going in my head, so I come back to what you're saying. But this is just like an anecdote I'm gonna give, because I think this is, for me, this is kind of indicative of my whole problem with the Bible, my whole problem with Christianity as a whole. Is that there's this weird like revisionist thing where I hear a lot of people who believe in the Bible, who are like modern, like people who are like maybe more liberal minded, saying, the Bible's not homophobic, it's just that people have taken the text and misunderstood it. That's not true, because if you look at fucking the whole account of Sodom and Gomorrah, like I don't know if you guys know about.
Yeah. I can quote that back to back to back.
Do you know about? So
back to back.
what happened was, obviously, for those who don't know who are watching, there were these two cities they were doing all kinds of seedy, corrupt things. To be honest, like probably some of them were like morally deplorable, like a lot of violence and stuff.
the
But other ones were like the people
nasty.
just having sex, like men were having sex with each other, and then God
Chris.
rained sulfur and fire down on this city and totally wiped it off.
Wait. To be fair, you're missing like a big.
There's obviously there's more. That's a massive. That's the abridged version that I just gave. That was like, but the gist of what's being implied by this account is that this is not a lifestyle that God approves of. So it's like people just obviously people can misinterpret, or they can take the Bible and use it to do to achieve their own ends. But there's a lot of issues I have with the Bible that are just the text. They're not even misinterpretation things, like the misogyny in the Bible. For me, even just like the kind of the like weird civility that the Bible encourages in terms of like the turning the other cheek. Turning the other cheek has not served, in my opinion, has not served black people. It's not served. It's not considering the amount of violence we've experienced at the hands of greater powers than us. It hasn't done us any favors. The whole idea about like and to go on with that whole civility thing, the whole idea about the principle about paying Caesar's back to Caesar. This principle is often understood in terms of respecting law, respecting the authorities, even when it's not serving you, even when it's not respecting you. And it's like, people, and obviously this is individual people's responsibility too, but like the text incentivizes what's the word I'm looking for? The text incentivizes
What?
basically taking fuckery and basically suffering at the hands of abuse.
Okay.
And obviously people can misinterpret elements of the Bible. That's true, but ultimately the book that Christians follow, whether they're ethical Christians, whatever that means, whether they're exploitative pastors, the whole spectrum of people. These people are following a book that has so many problems with it. There are so many issues. And even the things I listed about the misogyny, the weird civility thing. Those are like, I'm sure that there's probably people who are a lot more scholarly out there who could probably give you way more.
M.I.C.
Yeah.
I want to jump into this drill.
Go on.
Yeah?
Sorry.
I want to jump into
I was
this
talking
drill.
for so long.
No. You said a lot of stuff that was seasoned nicely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, I will say that in my experience, my issue that I have with the Bible is not the issue with the Bible, but the issue with people.
And interpretation.
Not interpretation, but your individual biases always bleeds in. You can't detach your individual experiences from your philosophy.
100%.
Yeah. So whatever book you have, if there's multiple people, it'll always be reinterpreted. Because how I read my English and understand the world is different to you. Yeah. Now in my head, I came to realization that I'm safer just believing in M.I.C. and not in a book in which people are gonna tell me where my lines are at. I can just make that decision myself, if that makes sense. So I ditched it for that because, for example, I remember my pops got stabbed one time because some boys that taught him tried to jack his car.
Yeah.
And then my mom was saying that her prayers to Jesus is why my dad survived.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm whipping on the motorway to the hospital and I'm in the hospital seeing him on the bed,
Yeah.
I know that this girl doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. This person didn't do shit. If you know what I mean. It's an element of luck that the knife didn't hit where the knife was meant to hit. If you know what I mean. And you're here. You got a lucky call. Because there's other people that it goes in and it goes out. And then you're done. And then no prayers bringing back someone that's dead.
Yeah. These things, a lot of them, I don't know, like, and this isn't even to shit on someone that wants to pray if they're going through some fuckery. But I've always thought, even when you get these rappers that will win an award, they'll win a Grammy, and they'll be on stage, they'll be like, I want to, thank God for why is it that why do you think that you are the one that's being selected for this privilege of being delivered from your suffering when there's youths in Palestine that are being bombed live as we speak. There's people dying from drug addiction, dying from poverty, dying from austerity in this country, in America, wherever. And it's just like, why do people just think, well, like why is that there's this self-centeredness? This is even another gripe I have with Christians specifically, but this is kind of unrelated to what it's related to what you were just talking about.
You know that, yeah.
But yeah,
me and you can go all day talking about this.
I could, I
want to
can
move
really,
into your music.
Yeah,
please,
there's a
please,
beat. I've got a beat in my bonnet. That beat, I'm gonna tell that beat fly away for the time being. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
You're a grime MC or just an artist?
I'm both. A grime artist, a grime MC, an artist.
Grime is your genre.
Yeah, grime is a genre. Yeah.
It's your genre though.
Yeah. I guess
Wouldn't being a grime MC make him an artist though?
Like, cause some people back in the day didn't like being considered a grime MC. They'll say I'm an artist and all
I
that.
don't think it's that deep. Yeah. I like to be a grime MC because
I don't like how they people have devalued the occupation of being a rapper or MC.
Yeah.
It makes my skin crawl because it's like
classist.
It's almost like
it's classist.
Yeah, it's like internalized racism.
Yeah.
It's like anything because rap at the end of the day is a black art form.
Yeah.
And it's still almost like anything we do has less value if we say it like that. Whereas when really and truly, what's the number one genre right now?
Hip hop. It's hip hop.
And it's been like that for what?
The
best part
20 years?
20 years.
20 years now?
20 years.
Yeah.
At least since the mid-90s, 25 years, I'm saying. But they just want to officially say it now. And man don't want to say they're a rapper. Man are shook to say they're a rapper.
Yeah.
But because rappers, there's a social connotation attached to being a rapper.
Yeah.
Social connotation of being black as well.
Yes, but there's, for example, there's different...
That's why it annoys me.
No, I hear that, but if we're going to go down that route, there's hierarchies when it comes to the type of black man that society respects. And, for example, the broke nigga is not as respected with the money, the nigga with the cash. That's life, if you know what I mean. Then you have status, who you know, whether or not you have stripes in your name, because we have to get respect from amongst us, because wider society doesn't respect us, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. For example, my pops used to work 2 jobs when I was growing up, and my mom. Yeah. So, other than just them and white people. Yeah. But in the church, they walked like celebrities.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? In the collective, that's where they got their love, if that makes sense. And then, for some reason, the imagery of a rapper is been turned into the ignorant gangbanger.
Yeah, which is classist and racist, like at its core. Like you might not necessarily. Black people can obviously perpetuate this thing, but I think the origin of this belief is one that's both classist and racist. Because even just like I don't know, like if someone says that they're a producer, people don't immediately turn their noses up.
No.
Because of like and people just need to. I think people need to get into why they feel that way. So I have no shame in saying I'm a grime MC, saying I'm a rapper. I used to be honest, and it held me back a lot. But as soon as I was just like, I need to abandon this problem and this like lack of self-respect for myself actually, and just embrace the fact of what I do being this amazing thing. I was a lot happier for it.
You shouldn't be ashamed of the music you make.
Yeah, and you should never be. Shit. And even if you don't make music, you should never ever feel that you can be emboldened to make someone feel stupid or make them seem like ignorant because they're a rapper. Listen, like I'm not playing by these cork rules. Like people can play by these when I say cork, I mean Caucasian rules because they are. Like I don't play by these rules. I'll play by some. I'll make my own rules. But I'm not playing. I'm not using a rule book that I didn't write. So I'm not gonna just feel embarrassment or feel like reticent about like saying I'm a rapper. I'll have to say it.
You look at the rules that are in asterisks that are specifically for you, like, Ross, they're shagging me here. I'm not playing by this. I'm not playing this game. What's the point?
What's
the fuck is the point?
I can't do it.
Can I spin the coupe real quick?
Go on.
What's the story behind the blonde eyebrows?
I just look beautiful, and having blonde eyebrows really
said,
accentuates
"Fuck
it.
So, fuck it. That's my type.
I-
Someone
I-
that just says fuck it.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I have come to the conclusion that I am so beautiful. And no, seriously. No, seriously. Because I even saw this thing earlier today where it was that Unknown T was saying how he thinks he's ugly because someone said he's pretty. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I can never, no, I have not suffered in this life to ever be looking at my face in the mirror and not be recognizing my objective beauty. So I just will say it. And the blonde eyebrows, when I dyed them blonde, it just accentuates. Sorry, I'm knocking the mic. It just accentuates everything.
How long did that take with that mindset?
To build it.
Yeah.
You should meet my mum. My mum is. I was programmed to be like this.
So you've always been like this then?
No, I haven't always been like this, but I was always taught to be like this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because my mum is like this, but like she doesn't even have to say. She just is this person. But she would, in what she would say, she'll always be. When I was young, growing up, she would always tell me how like beautiful she thought I was, and I was like, I never agreed. I always thought she was crazy.
She's gassing me.
why didn't you agree?
Because I just thought, I don't know. Because there were also other influences in my family.
Okay.
Without getting too much into that were making me not believe this.
Okay, so they
Yeah.
are conflicting.
Yes, there were conflicting. So my mum definitely, my mum's programming has always been like this.
Okay.
I was always supposed to be
That
like
was
this.
in the backlog. That was bumped in the backlog. Yeah.
So as I got older and I got more confident, and I realized, yeah, she was right the whole time.
I stopped calling myself ugly in 2018.
It has to end.
I ain't going back.
It has to end. No, I'm not going. No way. No way. Freedom. Release the shackles. No black person. And also, I'm not even going to call it unpopular opinion. My correct opinion is that no black person should ever be calling themselves ugly. To be honest.
Will we leave that for the Caucasian man then?
No, because it's even like for me, I've been guilty of like
Maybe.
even like when people talk about someone like Jay-Z's ugly or like I don't know. I've been guilty of like
They're just upset, man.
I've been guilty of like clowning of like joining in that joke in the past. Yeah. But it has to end because no black person is actually ugly. How can we be ugly? Do you know that my ancestors were slaves? I'm not. It's impossible.
Listen.
It can't. No one can be.
No,
we
I don't
can't
think
be-
so. I don't think anyone.
Black people aren't ugly.
Well, are you man the real arguing that no one can be ugly?
No black person can be ugly.
Is that what we're arguing?
Otherwise, it's racist in this world that we live in. We live in a world, yeah, where black people have experienced all manner of genocide, all manner of colonization,
Any kind of fuckery you can
white
think of.
supremacy specifically. It's just in bad taste
to say that.
to say that. Imagine and I can give you a parallel in Australia.
Okay, him and
If they say in Australia, so you know the country of Australia. Imagine if an Australian magazine was to bring out a publication and they were like, these are the 50 most beautiful Australian women, and there was not a single like indigenous Australian woman in there.
There wouldn't be, but still.
But no,
Go off.
that's probably something that's happened.
Go off.
But I could say that to someone and they'd be like, oh, that's racist. Because do you understand what
Exactly.
I'm saying?
No, I hear what you're saying.
Because of the historical context of the country,
Yeah.
you'll be like, that's racist that there's only white women in this 50 list.
Yeah, bro.
But if that can be applied to the wider world,
No, I hear that. I hear that. I agree that this media's depiction of what's beautiful, black people weren't there for a long while, and then the black people that are there now is a certain type of black person and a certain type of figure.
Yeah.
I hear that. Growing up, people develop a like for what they like.
Yes, yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
And
It's
then
true. Everyone, no one is not subject to that.
Yeah.
So no one is immune to that, Robert.
So in this system, if you're not conventionally good looking or you're classified as ugly, that lifestyle's hard, man. You know what I mean? That lifestyle's hard,
Because
bro.
beauty is a form of capital. As well.
People be making money off that shit.
But yeah, I refuse. I no more. It can never leave me enough that a black person is ugly. Even if I hate them, I can't call a black person ugly. I can't. Especially if they're not light skinned. It's just rude.
I want to.
Yeah. Wait.
These guys are legends, bro.
Did that come out clear?
Fully.
Did I make you understand the
Fully.
Just in case someone
No,
Break down the colorism for us.
Change yourself. Go ahead. Spin again.
No.
Spin again.
So especially if it's extra rude if the person
It's dark.
is dark skinned.
Yeah.
That's why.
Because colorism is a thing, especially in the
And
black
we're all
community.
subject to it. No one's immune.
100%.
Me, I will never.
The darker you are, the worse it gets for you.
In any melanated community, colorism is a thing.
You're finished.
So on that's basically the long way of me saying that you can't. Black people can never call themselves ugly.
Okay.
And we can't
Fully
be allowed to
agree
be
with
called ugly. It's racist.
I have a question for you, yeah?
Go on.
So, a man of your stature and your eloquence in how you carry yourself, yeah? How the fuck is it interacting in the music industry then?
Yeah, trust me.
It is interesting. I have had to deal with some interesting things. I'm not even gonna get too much into this, just in case, because you never know. But there was one. I'm not even gonna give this person the benefit of whatever. But there was a few years ago. There was this person that I spoke to, and they kept trying to clown. They kept trying to clown me. Not clown me. They kept trying to. I would make jokes at the expense of white people on my Instagram.
Okay.
And they were like, and this person was white, and they were like, you need to stop making jokes about.
Can I just say something? White people, just let us cuss you lot. We've been through enough.
This is the least. This is the least you can do. If I even ask for the R word, you'll start crying. But anyway, I was making jokes at white people at white people's expense, and this white person who's in music was like, "Oh, you can't do that." And then last year, when the whole thing was happening with George Floyd, they came to my inbox to apologize,
What they understand now.
and I was just like, I didn't respond. But I was just like, that's just if that's the answer to your question. That's what it's been like, because people often have tried to shut me down or say that I'm wrong, say that I'm wilding, and then when it comes to it, they admit that I'm right.
I would have sent a gift still.
What kind of gift?
The Oprah thing, where she just goes like that. Where Oprah just goes and dips out.
Screaming. I just saw it and I was just like, and that's happened to me a lot. It's happened to me a lot in the music industry. People have been like, "Oh, you're wild and you're saying too much. You're doing too much. You're marginalizing white people." I had someone telling me that you're gonna lose your white fan base. Excuse me? That's ridiculous. These things. I don't know.
I am culture, nigga.
I don't know what people expect. White people, and to be honest, I'll be cussing white people and they be liking it as well. So
White people like it when you cuss white people.
I'll call a white person a cracker and they'll be like, keep going. Yeah, I just
Know that shit.
yeah. It's just honestly, it's not. They just need to get over it. It's not that deep.
You feel that, how has that approach affected your commerciality?
It's probably harder for me, to be honest. But I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Are you trying to be
Or
commercial?
both. I don't know which one I'm here for. I don't know which one I'm here for. I don't know. But I'm neither. I'm here for a very short, difficult time. I don't know what I'm here for, but
You're
basically,
here to enjoy yourself.
I'm here to enjoy myself.
you
Yeah,
and not care about anyone
correct,
else.
correct. I'm here to spit bars and make people laugh and just be ridiculous and enjoy making music and break boundaries. I'm not here to just. I don't want to be Jason Derulo.
Okay.
Respectfully,
Jason.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
In his own corny way, he is.
No. No. I just don't like his music.
That's a personal show.
No.
That's a personal show.
Yeah, no. I just But yeah, I don't want to be. I'm not a pop artist. I'm me.
Yeah.
So when it comes to your creative process, then if
Yeah.
it's not for, let's say, making club bangers and chart songs, how do you make a song? What's that process? Like?
Every single time I make a song, whether it's super avant-garde or whether it's just like a banger, I'm always trying to make a grime tune.
Super what?
Super avant-garde, super experimental, or super.
Oxford
Regardless
Dictionary,
of the direction I'm going in, I could be going like the Bjork direction, or I could be going like just making some ratchet something. But it's always me trying to make a grime song. But I am quite meticulous, generally speaking. With my last release, You Can Achieve Anything, that's probably the least meticulous I've ever been. But generally speaking, I'm very methodical and very. I'll take a long time to plan. But yeah, so my main methodology is just trying to make the best possible and the most interesting grime music I can.
So what is grime music to you? What classifies as grime music?
I just know you can't. You explain
So
it
you
would be
could,
difficult.
you could just feel it, bro.
You just know.
When the track reloads again after you spat that bar,
know.
that's
But
that's
for me,
one of the top 10 feelings
my,
ever in
I
life
feel-
you can experience.
I feel like my definition of grime is probably a lot more broad.
Yeah, of course.
Than a lot of other people. Some people will be like, I remember, like, you know my tune Quay? I sent it to a DJ a few years ago, and he was a grime DJ, and he was like, he responded, and he was like, this is sick, but it's not grime. And I was like, what? Like, how? Like, it's not even about me being offended, it's more about just like, it's obviously grime. Obviously, like, the two-step rhythm, like, the bar, the delivery, like, I was like literally taking inspiration from Skepta, from Big H, like, how could this not be grime, you know? But anyway, other people have different definitions, but to me, I couldn't even articulate what it is, but I always know when something is grime related.
Was that DJ like someone who's has been in the grime scene for a very long time?
Yeah. Amazing. They were like a
Puritans.
yeah, Puritan basically, and that's not even
That's
now
not a bad
it's
thing.
not even hate. It's just
No.
That's why I asked you.
I get it,
Because
I
of the grime
understand.
Puritans, what's grime to you? Because with the grime Puritans, you shoehorn grime into this tight little box that doesn't allow for a lot of.
get out.
Yeah,
180 BPM.
Yeah. 140 BPM thing's a lie,
Yeah.
because there's other grime can be at other tempos.
Yeah, and it can
To
still
be
sound
honest,
like
it's not
grime.
that deep. Like people just need the BPM thing. People need to get over.
Seriously.
But at the same time, I say that, but I actually don't like rapping slow. So there's
I'm screaming.
I don't know if that's totally true. I can't rap. I don't like to rap on instrumentals that are slower than 135 beats per minute. That's just like, am I a snail or am I a human being? I can't
had
be,
to
I don't
go.
know. But anyway,
You like to rap in real time.
like just faster. You know, 140, 150, 160, those.
I love
Fast
that. I
and
love
Furious.
that. How do you label? Well, not even. That's skipping the gun. In terms of like labels or independence, what's like your kind of lane? And then obviously, how do people even approach you? Because if they
Neither,
can't put you in a
both.
box,
Something else is my answer. It just depends on what would allow me to keep
what you're
making
doing.
the kind of songs I want to make. Because I'm not trying to make. I don't want to make. I don't know.
You're the first listener.
Say that again.
You're the first listener. You should be making music for you.
Yeah.
And if everyone else likes it.
Yeah, it's like it's true, and obviously it's
And
nice.
you trust your ear as well.
I think a better answer to that question is probably I just want to do I want to do whatever would help me keep doing what I'm doing without being inhibited artistically.
Okay.
That's the most important thing, I think.
I think.
Do you feel more fulfilled as a person because of you're pursuing your actual? I want to do this.
Yeah, of course. I wake up every day. I listen to like probably about 3 or 4. Sorry, that's a lie. I listen to about probably at least 4 different albums I've never heard every day. Just,
can you not see his skin shining? He's fulfilled.
yeah, I feel happy. I feel happy to have the faculty of hearing. I feel happy to have the faculty of speech.
Even comprehension.
Yeah,
Your thing's on a
comprehension.
different level, brother.
Yeah, thank you. But I just the point I'm making is that I feel because of the art I'm making and the art I want to make, I feel so happy to be alive, and I feel happy to be doing what I'm doing, and I feel grateful that I've got to this point. You know.
Amazing.
No, I hear that. I find people like you very inspirational
Yeah.
in your pursuit of just carving out your identity
Bro,
as a
I'm
person.
fam. I just feel like working on myself right now. Like,
I'm not complete though.
of course
I hear
not.
that,
It's
I
still
hear that.
commendable.
I'm not-
No one is.
I don't think anyone is. Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's complete.
Yeah, but I feel like I am. Wait. I'm just waffling. Can someone ask me about music like that I don't listen to? Just ask me some questions about music. Sorry, that's so random. I'm sorry if I'm reading the conversation. Yeah, plan.
Okay, I have some. What's the biggest genre in the UK now, in your opinion?
Drill.
Drill. Okay. Do you think drill has been the most impactful genre that has come out of the UK
Ever?
ever?
No.
What is that to you?
Grime.
Grime. Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
I
No.
maybe either grime or jungle.
Grime or jungle, okay.
Wait, in terms of specifically black.
No, just impact. So it's ability to like push outside of its place
If we're
of
talking,
origin
you're talking like black music made and consumed predominantly by black people.
in the UK.
Jungle or grime, one of the two.
Okay.
Yeah, jungle. Like it's definitely not UK. Like straight non-grime UK rap. It's not drill yet. Drill.
So it's not road rap.
Drill is the son of grime.
No, I don't think so. I think it's probably jungle or grime because grime has impacted everything. Grime impacted drill when drill came over here. Yeah. Grime is essentially is why dubstep exists. Yeah. Grime. So grime is the genre of music that gave UK rap the footing, the foundation. So
basic.
I think it's grime. The only reason why I say jungle
Garage
is
is
because
the
of how popular jungle is. Jungle is how popular drum and bass is globally. It came from jungle. So
How you feel about Wiley?
Wiley's the first musician I ever listened to. He actually followed me a few weeks ago.
What was the first song?
What do you call it?
Or what you call it? Mine was pies.
Yeah, mine was Pies as well.
I love Wiley. Wiley, I don't know. Wiley's great, man. And I'm happy for what he's doing now.
Okay, I have one more question before we wrap it up. Yeah. Why is it that the Arabian scene in the UK isn't pushed?
R&B?
Yeah.
I like that you asked me that. That's really left field. Why do I think it's not, I don't know why it's not
pushed very
pushed. Because,
They're doing the.
oh, wait.
actors thing, bro.
You've actually made me think about something. Because, so, I did a Lovers Rock show, yeah? And part of the motivation behind me doing that is the fact that I thought there's been an erasure around Lovers Rock's influence. Because Lovers Rock, in my opinion,
Make sure you tune in.
it's the first like black British genre in a lot of senses. Like when I say black British, the first made by black people, consumed by black people.
Yeah.
And it's not obviously it was influenced by R&B. A lot of it. It was like soul influenced reggae.
Soul,
And
reggae, R&B.
It's a thing where that kind of got that's influence kind of got like erased in the way that maybe modern British R&B is. I don't really know. I don't know that. I don't know the answer. I don't know how to answer that.
Can I say my opinion?
Oh, go on.
I think it's because people choose not to put money into R&B artists. I think now people are trying to, hence why it is on a come up. But I think before, people were just, it wasn't cool. And it was like, no.
I think
They
it's
don't play
kind of
enough UK R&B outside either.
What do you say?
They don't play enough UK R&B outside.
Yeah.
I low key think that
I've never heard
in the UK, in London anyway, I feel like they don't. I don't know. I don't know if this is a crazy
They just
take,
know
yeah.
what works in
I just feel like people don't. UK DJs or London-based DJs are not the level of aficionado they should be when it comes to UK music.
No, I think.
No, I agree with that.
They just play so many DJs just play American music.
No, but you know that I've always had the notion that I hate DJs. I don't like DJs because of that. It's just basic, run-of-the-mill iTunes playlist.
Yeah.
I think DJs, they know their music, They know what sounds good, but they just play it safe. They play it safe.
Yeah.
Shout out to CK represent as well.
You're probably right. You're probably right. You know, I think people probably do know the music. They just play it safe.
They play it safe because England is just so like everyone just goes with what works. No one wants to step out and stand out.
Yeah.
And the people that do and they thrive, they're like oh, and they all just run to them.
Copycat thing. Listen, when M.I.C becomes a DJ, it's fucked.
I can do DJ already.
He's a
I
British
actually-
man.
So cheap for M.I.C DJ.
I actually DJed at a club once. I had a booking, in like Bournemouth, and I was just playing stuff I would listen to, like, you know, and people were not feeling it at all. And I was like, you know what, like, it's okay.
No,
I can't, you know,
That was
like,
the first fail. You need to try again.
yeah.
figure it out.
And I'll definitely, you know, I could definitely do it regularly, but I don't know. I also just feel like what really makes me impassioned to be is making the music, is like performing, you know.
M.I.C. Do you have any last words you want to say to the people then?
Yeah, listen to You Can Achieve Anything. It's on Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, Bandcamp. It's not on Soundcloud because I hate that platform so much.
Okay.
But there's actually a fake version on SoundCloud.
We're gonna bleep
SoundCloud
all
is
this
trash.
We love you,
SoundCloud is
SoundCloud.
garbage,
Bleep all this out.
yo, it's the worst platform.
Right.
Is this going on SoundCloud?
Yeah.
SoundCloud is terrible. Anyway, because they just dropped the ball. They had the ball in their hand. They had
did.
the ball. They just don't. They do not invest money in improving that platform. I don't understand why.
they don't have
They
any.
don't want to because they don't know. They're just There's so many layers to why SoundCloud are a mess. Big up Mixcloud as well. It's not a Mixcloud, but big up Mixcloud. What else as well? I would say big up Nami Wams.
Bandcamp?
Big up
Bandcamp?
some Bandcamp as well. Big up Juninho. Big up Jamie. Big up who else? I'll big up some rappers actually that I've been listening to lately.
Big them up.
Big up Scooty.
Scoot.
Big up Len. Big up RX Nephew. I've been listening to him and RX Pappy so much. Big up, I don't know, there's so many musicians. Big up everyone. Big up everyone that's making exciting music. Big up all the black people, even people who are making terrible music. Big up everyone. Honestly, I hope everyone has having a great life.
I hope you guys that shit get better, man.
Nah, it's no.
Work on your game.
Mediocre, you celebrate when it's white people. So.
Yeah, it's true.
Work on your game.
Or when they're biracial, like people be.
Okay.
You know, that's not even a crazy take. It's you know, like people be anyway. But big up everyone.
Shout out
man.
Mabel.
Screaming. Don't make me laugh.
Okay.
She's the plant of plants. Maybe you're the plant of plants. I'm probably gonna get.
Stop.
I should have did that. I'm addicted to doing this, you know. I'll do it on the reg. Yeah, what other plants? There's bare plants, man. Bare plants.
Okay.
my
Thank
God,
you
this
guys.
I'm just talking.
I
We
appreciate
should
it.
talk about plants.
Ah, guys, I
He's just
appreciate
thinking about plants. There's so many plants.
No, there's always a part two. Always a part two.
The party begins right now. Anyway,
Shout out Brisk Factory.
this interview. Who are your least favorite plants in UK music? Who? H.
This guy said, oh.
I'm screaming.
See.
Keep going.
Right now, I'm not feeling RD too much.
RD.
But RD, yeah.
Oh yeah. It's just.
But I feel like I need to give him a chance though. Because
Who's your least favorite plant in UK music right now?
See, this, I'm going to have to be political. With this one is techie because man them are trying to eat. I will say, technically, I'm going to shout Big Heat.
Oh yeah.
Shout for him.
My least favorite part in UK music is Juninho. I'm shaking the whole table. I'm literally shaking the table.
Somebody's shaking.
Juninho, if you can see this, you're my least favorite part in UK music.
That's a person.
Okay. But yeah, that's I'm trolling. But anyway,
Exclusive show.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
man.
you.
Sorry
thank
for
you, thank
waffling.
you. No, it's fine. This has been Urban Era 404. Yeah, the people them has been here. M.I.C. has been here. You know, Zion Way,
DJ.
BTS behind the screen. Okay, thank you very much. Like and subscribe, gang.
Like, subscribe, follow.